Let a few people get on. We're going to wait till a few more people get on, then we'll start. All right, welcome to the Zones All Access, episode 41. Today's guest is Josh Ferguson from SMMS Basketball. But before we begin, I have to thank our team of marketing partners who allow us to do what we do. We also have premier partners such as Stay and Play Doggy Daycare, Whitaker Insurance, Pizza Inn Tazewell, Clayton Homes of Middlesboro, Roland Vet Services, Value RX Pharmacy Tazewell, Hearthside Bank, Walker & Walker Construction, Claiborne Health and Wellness, and as always, communications provided by First Century Bank. All right, let's get a little background from you. Josh, where are you from?
I'm originally from Hancock County. Played basketball up there at Hancock County. Graduated in 99.
Mm-hmm.
Moved down here when me and my wife got married back in 07. So I've been down here about 18 and a half years.
Did you have a sports background as a kid?
Basketball. Mainly with Hancock County up until just a handful of years ago, they just had baseball and basketball.
Yeah.
So I played basketball from, I guess, third grade on through high school.
All right, did you have a favorite basketball team, and why were they your favorite?
Growing up in the, I guess, late 80s, early 90s, is Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the team. That was the best player, best team. And that was a lot of people's, I guess, favorite athlete at the time.
Yeah, that's the next question. What's your favorite athlete and why? Why did you like Michael?
His determination.
Yeah.
I mean, his determination, his work ethic. I mean, he's a great talent, but if you go back and you look at his history, I mean, he worked to do that. Just a true team leader, never made it about himself, was going to go out there and outwork everyone else.
Yeah. Did you want to coach back, say you're in high school? Did you ever think you wanted to coach?
No, never was. Never was a thought of mine back in high school at all.
Well, tell us how you got into coaching.
Well, with my kids was both playing ball at SMMS, and the boys' job came open. They sort of asked if I would be interested. And I like working with kids. I wanted to work with them, help teach them some of the fundamentals, help teach them how to not just play basketball, but conduct themselves on and off the court. I mean, my son being there, that was the biggest factor, but that wasn't the only reason.
Can you explain your coaching philosophy and the style you like to play with the talents there?
I guess my philosophy is dictated by the players you have at the time. I mean, I like to get up and down the floor. I like to play aggressive on offense, aggressive on defense. When we played, defensively, it was full court. I mean, whether it was man or whether it was a zone press, getting after people, getting transition, Now I think you've got to coach to your talent. I mean, I've had some good teams we can get up and down the court in transition. I've had some where that we can't do it. So that's how I like to play, but I try to coach to what my kids can do.
Good. Okay, how do you motivate your players with the intent of building team chemistry?
Well, you try to let them know no one player's going to win the ball game. And I mean, it takes a team. It's 5-on-5. I mean, you may have a great player, but if they have off night, the others got to step up. And I try to build the relationship with the players, or that they know I care about them, not just as a player, but I care about them as a person. And I think that helps motivating. If they know you care, they're going to give you a little extra effort.
Do you do any fun things in practice to help with teamwork?
We do. We'll do some different drills. We like doing like a chase down drill with some different things to make it a little fun. I try to make it competitive, but I also throw a little fun things in there where they're having fun. And a lot of times you can get them to go harder having fun,
and they don't even know.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Do you make decisions on who plays or how much time they get over stats over the season, analytics, that kind of stuff? Are you a stat person or more of a gut?
A little bit of both. We keep stats each game as far as everything. We don't do film, but we do keep stats. And I factor in how they do in the game plus practice.
Yeah.
When you get in practice, you see a kid every day. You know, some kids, it takes a few games before they get comfortable shooting, but you know in practice they can shoot. And sometimes it dictates who you're playing. You know, if you're playing a bigger team, you're going to need more size. If you're playing a small, quicker team, you might have to go a little bit smaller.
How do you make one that you know is underperforming and they've got much more to give, but they can't realize it? How do you motivate that player? How do you get the best out of them?
I think you try to look for the positives they've done, and when they do something really good, you build on that. And I think part of that goes back to building that relationship with them.
Yeah.
To know that you trust in them, you believe in them, because it happens. I mean, we've all played sports and go out there and you just have an off night or stuff just ain't falling. And kids in middle school really get down on themselves real easy because they're so worried what everyone's thinking, what their teammates think. And so I try to, any positive, to build on that, to encourage them, to keep on going. And most of them, they'll eventually come around.
Yeah. Is your playing time decided by effort and practices, or just much more than that, overall attitude? Describe how you do that.
It's all of it. I mean, if they ain't going to give effort practice, why should I expect them to do it in the ball game? And I try to tell them that. I said, look, you should actually practice harder than you play. Now, that's hard to do. It's hard to keep 10 to 13-year-old kids focused through a whole practice. That's part of it. And also attitude. I mean, if you got a kid just ain't focused, don't act like they're interested, or ain't been a good teammate, they know they ain't going to play. They'll be on the bench.
This year, you just named the players that are on the team. What do you know about some of those players?
JV, not so much. I had one returning JV player off last year's ball team. So a lot of them is new. A lot of them were very young. I think we've got 4 6th graders and 7 5th graders. And where they're doing football, I've got 7 doing football. So you don't get them in the gym as much. So right now is on JV trying to find out what they can do. Varsity, you know, most all the players is players I've had the last couple of years. So I know their strengths. I know sort of their weaknesses. So you try to, the weaknesses, you try to build on in practice to get better. And the strengths, you try to encourage them just to improve more and more.
How many spots do you have to fill from last year's team?
I think we had 7 8th graders, 4 starters, actually. They were 7 of my top 8 players. So, like JV's very inexperienced. Varsity, we've got playing experience, but not on the varsity level. And it does get a little bit different going from JV to varsity.
Now, we wanted Coach Lefevre's in here too, and something come up, she couldn't come. But what do you know about the girls' team this year?
They will be probably less experienced than I am. I think they have a lot of players on JV, a lot of maybe fifth graders, never played ball before. On varsity, I think they've got a couple new players. I think they said she had 8 on varsity, so a small number. You know, only a couple of those have played a lot of ball. So they're going to be very inexperienced, but I do know she's working at it very hard. It's just the experience is hard to overcome, and I know she's doing the best she can.
How do you two coaches work on fundamentals? I mean, it's still a big part of middle school coaching, I'm sure. What procedures do you go about working on fundamentals?
Oh, we do a lot of dribbling, especially early on. A whole lot of dribbling. You know, we get a lot of fifth graders that's never played basketball, so a lot of dribbling, a lot of just trying to show them how to do the layup the right way. And like I said, I've got a lot of young kids, so we spend a lot of time on that, trying to teach them how to play defense. You know, kids don't know how to get in the stance. They don't realize you got to move your feet a certain way. We do a lot of defensive slides, a lot of them high run. I sort of jokingly put it, I said, we ain't riding a stick horse. I said, we're supposed to defensive slide. I said, not ride a stick horse. So a lot of fundamentals, try to make some of it fun, try to get them to go when they're doing it as fast as they can, try to simulate some game stuff.
All right. Do you have problems getting a full team of players, or has that since COVID changed a lot now where they're coming out more?
Which I took over sort of, I guess, year and a half after COVID sort of moved through. No, I've always had enough players. Last year was the only issue I sort of had. I had 2 fifth graders was all I had to try out for the basketball team. You know, SMMS is the biggest middle school. For 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, we've got more kids. And to only have 2 kids show up, that was sort of surprising to me. But the other years, I've had a good amount. I've not really had to worry about the numbers.
Good. You probably don't know the answer to this yet, but what does this team look like? What'll be the strengths of this team?
A little bit of our strength, we got a big guy. You know, my big guy Trevor, he's close to 6'4". I mean, great athlete. If anyone's watched him play last couple of years and watching him play football, I mean, that's a huge asset when you got someone that size. You know, we've got some decent ball handlers, some decent shooters. It's just where they've not played a lot of varsity ball, getting them comfortable going out there and actually executing and running stuff.
So you kind of touched on it, but the next question was weakness of both the basketball boys team.
A little bit. We're not probably the most athletic team overall. Last year, I had a bunch of athletes that could really get up and down the floor. That's probably our biggest weakness. We're just not the fastest team, but that's the reason we're trying to push on technique and doing stuff the right way, staying focused, and you can make up for that if you do stuff right.
Okay, let's kind of touch on your schedule this year. Just county schedule and the district. Just talk about that a little bit.
Well, the district, you know, we've got home and home against Hancock and Washburn, and then I think we've got Powell Valley and Springdale home and home, Fort Ridge, HY and Midway. Only got them 1 game apiece. We're sort of several away games start the season, and we got a big stretch of home games, then away games. So it's not a good mixture, but that's just sort of the way it works out. I try to get some out-of-county teams so we can have 6th and 7th grade games.
Yeah.
This year was a struggle to get that. A lot of them was done booked up. And part of that is my fault. My kids, you know, play high school ball, so I do try to schedule games around their games. So, but we got 18 games this year. Pretty good teams we're going to be playing. So hopefully it helps get us ready for tournaments.
Ethan Riley has a question. He wants to know about the defense.
The defense, as far as what we're going to be running, or just how I go about it.
He just wants to know about the defense.
Well, I'm not going to tell you exactly what we're going to be running because there's probably some coaches are watching, but I want to be as aggressive as I can with the players I have. Yeah. We're talking about not as athletic. We're going to have to play good defense. We may not be able to get out in transition like we can, so we're going to have to play good defense. We're going to have to be really rebound and create turnovers when we can, and hopefully, turn those turnovers into some easy buckets.
Okay. What's expected of your players on and off the court?
I try to teach them they're a part of SMMS basketball, not just on the court. It's off the court. It's not just in the classroom. It's in their community. And they're supposed to act respectful. I want them to act the way that they represent their ball team, their school, their community, their family the right way. And I've been fortunate. I mean, you always have some stuff, they're kids. But for the majority of my kids, they do a pretty good job about doing that.
All right. You mentioned representing your community, your school. Does the influx of travel ball teams take away some of that? And is it a good thing or is it a bad thing, travel ball?
I've got mixed feelings. You play good competition. But I think it sort of depends in the organization and how it is structured.
Yeah.
You take a lot of travel ball teams, they're just out there a lot for offense, score a bunch of points, get up and down the court. And when you go back to school ball, it teaches a lot of bad habits. Now, they have some travel coaches that are very, very good, and they teach the fundamentals. Mm-hmm. And you can tell, you get players that's been to certain coaches, and they come back, and it's like, oh, what happened? And then you get some like, yeah, you've been worked with the right way. So it depends how they're being worked with and the structure of the AAU team.
Okay. Do you have any program needs up at SMMS? Things that community can help you out with, like physical things, sponsorships. Talk about that a little bit.
I've been fortunate the years I've been there. We've had good sponsorship from the community. We do the banners, and I did really well the last couple of years. This year, still waiting on some to come in, so don't know about all them.
Yeah.
Tazewell Drug and Express has volunteered to do our physicals coming up our next week. That's huge. I mean, that means a lot.
Yeah,
it makes it so much easy on the parents because they ain't got to get them back and forth. The biggest need, I guess, we have up there is we're getting close to needing to have the floor redone. They've got volleyball up there now, and they're needing some stuff done so they can get where they can have games. But that's probably, as far as the ball teams, our uniforms are in pretty good shape. That's the need the school's going to, I guess, eventually have to try to do some fundraising and get the floor fixed a little bit better.
How do they contact you or whoever they need to contact to purchase a banner or to just go give a donation or anything like that? Who's the contact?
So the boys and girls sort of do their separate. That way we're not just going on top of each other.
Yeah.
I handle it all as far as the boys, and Kenzie handles it on the girls. This year we've not went out to do any new banners. So that has hurt a little bit on the money because there's a chance we sort of restructure how the banners are going forward after this year. So we didn't want to have anyone doing a new one, putting that money forth, and it'd be a different structure. We wanted to wait till we get it lined out. It may be the same, but there's a chance it's different. So we didn't want to take advantage of anyone and them not know what might be happening going forward.
All right. Speak to your fans of this Blue Devil team this year, and parents about the teams, boys and girls, and just say anything you want to. Welcome them out.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's always great when you got a lot of fan support. When you look up there and the crowd cheering, as a player, when the crowd got into it, it pumps you up. It makes you go just a little bit harder. And I always encourage the players. I know we get up there, we get upset at the coach, or we get upset about how our kids play. That's just the nature. I mean, I've coached, I've been up in the stands watching my kids play. Just encourage them and cheer them on, because they're out there. They're not wanting to mess up. They're wanting to do the best you can. And I always like I talked about my players representing the school the right way. I want my parents to do that too.
Yeah.
I mean, because when they do, you want them to cheer, and they can do that. But there is a line you don't want them to cross, and that just makes sort of the school, the community, look bad. I mean, cheer, holler, cheer them on, but keep it within reason.
SMMS's biggest rivalry is who?
Historically, it's HY, and for most anyone you ask in the county, it's probably going to be HY. For the last couple of years, Midway. Us in Midway, the last 2 years have been the JV championship. And last year we was in the varsity championship. And the games during the season have been very, very competitive. On varsity, JV, he's got a good program going. And it's still HY. I mean, Coach Green over there is a great coach. I've known him about his whole life. We grew up very close together. So you're always going to have HY. You got Springdale right down the hill. So there is some, but right now it's probably Midway. They're sort of been on top.
What would the kids lean more to?
It would be Midway.
Midway.
When I started coaching, it was wanting to beat HY. That was my son. Once I took over his 7th grade year, 8th grade year, we was able to beat them. That was the big rival. Were these kids that played Midway so much JV in close games, and last year in the varsity championship, if you asked them one team, it would be Midway right now.
It's always interesting to see. I mean, you can ask the high school team, what's your biggest rival? And it would tend to always go to Cumberland Gap. Now both Claiborne and Cumberland Gap says Union County.
Yes.
So it's amazing how that's changed over the years.
Yep. And I think a lot of it just comes down to the games. If they're blowout games, it's not a rivalry. I mean, fans might look at it for the players. It's not. If you're having close, meaningful games, that's who you want to beat.
Yep. Makes it better. What's the state of basketball in Tennessee like for middle schools? Is there something out there that they ought to look at and tweak a little bit, or shot clocks? I mean,
the shot clock in middle school,
which really doesn't, because they usually
they won't need it in most middle school ball games. I don't know as far as the state, because I mean we don't get to travel many places to see that. As far as I'll speak on county, I would like to see us do a 3rd and 4th grade program. I know some of the middle schools on JV do have 3rd, 4th graders on the team.
Yep.
But I would like to see us do a dedicated 3rd, 4th grade program, because our surrounding counties have elementary ball, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade.
Yep.
And they're getting started, worked with a little bit earlier than what we can here. And I think that eventually transitions to helping the high schools.
Well, what keeps you from doing that?
I don't know. I don't. I mean,
I don't either. That's why
I mentioned some people. I know our structure in the county is 5th and 6th is JV, primarily. 7th and 8th is varsity. And for the way our structure, that's great. Now, I do know some of the K through 8 schools have 4th graders and 3rd graders, and that's good. As far as SMMS and HY, we don't have that luxury. We can't bring them in. So I would like them to consider leave the 3rd and 4th graders on the JV team. That's fine, but maybe have them a little season just to get worked with a little bit.
A few games.
Yep.
Okay. Anything you want to talk about? The floor is yours.
No, across middle schools, I'm going to come out and support the players. Most of the middle schools have pretty good fan support. We do. Just encourage them, because look, you want them to continue playing something. I know football, some play football. You got some baseball, but just encourage them to do the best they can. Because these kids, it means more to them than what you think. They want to win. I mean, they want to go out there and they perform. And, for the parents, I appreciate them. They got to bring them to practice in middle school. It's a lot of time, a lot of effort they put in. And that's like the way I look at coaching. The schools put confidence in me, the parents, the players. I don't want to let them down. But the same thing, just encourage these kids. Keep them active, keep them working, and hopefully in the end we get a few wins.
Yeah, we're starting to see a few more kids get away from the little handheld devices and playing sports, and I hope that trend continues. Well, thanks for coming in, Josh.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime you want to come talk, we'll set it up.
All right.
And thanks for everyone that watches and supports us in any way possible. Thanks, Rex Caleb's, for the use of the Sports Center up here. It's amazing what he's doing for the kids. And as you can see behind us, there's a lot of gear. Come out, support him if you can at all. And we will see you next time. God bless.